This is Black Dynamite Media coming in with this crazy story. I don't know if too many of y'all heard about it, but this is sickening. It's crazy, and this world is going to hell. And I know I got young daughters, and I know many of y'all have young daughters out there too, and we gotta freaking keep our eyes on them because this world and these people out there take them away, take them astray about this dude named David, but let's see if we can get some more information.
I can tell you right now, cops do not like coincidences. And that goes double for cops who are investigating murders of runaway teenagers, especially runaway teenage girls. That fact has got to be hitting home tonight, literally, for the singer known professionally as David, spelled D4VD. I know it's strange, but it's pronounced David. His legal name is David Anthony Burke. And it is quite possible that's the name that was included in the warrant last night that was executed to search the home where he's been living. It's also the same name that's said to be on the title of the impounded Tesla, where the body of a dismembered and decomposing teenage girl was found by police in the trunk, or should I say frunk, the front trunk. That was 1 week ago Monday. If you were
Wow. Devastating, crazy. But sometimes that makes me say to myself, like, where were the parents at? Now, I can't just 100% just be like that because sometimes individuals do what they want, but yet still, she's still a child. You got to get control of that.
with us here last night, you know that that body has been identified as Celeste Rivas Hernandez, whose family reported her missing in April of last year. And get this, she may not look it in this picture, but she was just
Mm, mm,
13
mm, mm,
when she
mm.
went missing. Celeste's birthday, the 15th birthday, was the day before her body was found. But since it was the stench of rotting human remains that
So
led the
sad,
impound workers
sad,
to
sad.
call the LAPD, it is almost certain that Celeste did not live to see 15. For David, who's now on a world tour, none of this is good news, but it's not bad for him yet, legally speaking. That said, here are some of the bizarre coincidences that you cannot ignore in this murder case. This murdered teenager and the up-and-coming singer both have the same tattoos on their right index fingers, reading, shh. To be fair, it is a popular tattoo, SHHH, far from unique. But Celeste's mother says that her daughter was dating somebody named David when she went missing. And yes, David is a common name. I get it. Then there's the photo. A photo of David, the singer, in Celeste's neighborhood, not far from her house, minutes actually walking, right before she disappeared. And should I say that Celeste's house is like over an hour away from where David was living, so not likely just to be there for no.
Wow. That's too many coincidences. Tattoos matching, same finger, inside of his car. A too bad that they don't got a firing squad because these things can happen regardless of whatever is going on in this world. If she had a good life at home, or she had a bad life at home, and to be with what he's like, I don't know how much older than she is. That's crazy. And 13? What's that? What's that, like middle school? Are you kidding me? Hey, that's underneath the jail for me.
No reason. And now we know that in December of 2023, a song leaked out that is highly curious in retrospect. It is a demo track by David, and it's called, say it with me now, Celeste. The name of the song is Celeste, and it's all about his love for a girl who's named Celeste. Still, there was no indication that LA police were connecting the dots until last night, when homicide detectives raided a home in the Hollywood Hills. Now, it just happens to be the very same area where the
And
Tesla
he makes a
had been
song
abandoned
about
and
her.
then towed. Yet the neighbors say that that Tesla has been parked regularly in front of the home that was raided. And in a town full of Teslas, you're going to find out why in just a moment. Why this Tesla was so memorable to the eyewitnesses who said, oh, it is that one. That's the one right there that was parked outside the home. TMZ reports that that home was most recently occupied by David, the singer,
Mm, mm,
David
mm.
Anthony Burke, even though it was rented by David's manager. Police reportedly seized a computer and quote unquote other items. And I talked about all of this and more today with TMZ executive producer Charles Ladebaudiere. And before I play you our conversation, I should note
I hate to say this, but I'm thinking he's going to try to run some game, which is probably going to jam him up, which he should get jammed up, being that it was rented by the manager or whatever. But you cannot bypass that they got the same tattoos on the same finger and all the way, she's all the way across town about an hour with the song Celeste. What is he gonna say that the manager said, "Hey, let's make a song called such and such." I don't know how they're gonna run it, but either way, how they run it, they going down, and hopefully they do.
TMZ's reporting was instrumental in helping the police identify that the young victim in the trunk was Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Here's my interview. Charles, this story seems to really be getting legs. What happened today with the house where David had been staying? Tell me about that.
Yeah, this house where David had been staying at least earlier this year, probably even further back, police had a search warrant. They got a search warrant and they finally went through the house last night. We got some information about what they were looking for there. We know that there were photos of detectives leaving the house with a computer and then several other bags of evidence bags. We don't know exactly what they pulled out of there. We know what they were looking for, and it is very clear that they are trying to connect the victim, Celeste Rivas Hernandez, to that home and obviously to David also. We should say the home is about a block and a half away from where David's Tesla was parked when it was towed to an impound yard.
Okay, that's important. The proximity between this home that was investigated and searched and where the Tesla was found. That's key. I have seen reporting that neighbors had seen a Tesla parked outside that home.
Yeah, that very Tesla. We've spoken to several neighbors who said that the Tesla with the Texas plates, which is what makes it stand out here in LA, a black Tesla with those Texas plates. You know, it was registered to David, who is from the Houston area. So we know that that Tesla is his. The thing that's still not clear is who was actually driving the Tesla when the body was placed in the car, who parked it where it was eventually found and impounded. Those are the dots that still need to be connected here. But as for this house, it's very clear that this is where David was staying. There are lots of photos that he posted from that home. He entertained people there. Benny Blanco came over and he posted some photos with him. The group Cat's Eye was there. They recorded a video with David, like a TikTok video with David in that house. So this is where he apparently was staying and clearly entertaining friends and, posting content from that home. So the one thing we have not seen is a video of Celeste or photos of Celeste in that house. Now, other photos have surfaced showing it seems pretty clear at this point that David and Celeste had a relationship. There was a live stream that was resurfaced where they were talking to some of his fans, and also a photo of David and Celeste out at an event somewhere in LA in, it appears, October 2023, because there's a photo of David and Billie Eilish at the same event from that date.
God, in October of 2023, she'd have been just turned 14.
Yes,
No,
I
just
believe
turned 13.
13, and he would have been.
See, now that's crazy, right? That's like middle school for real, for real. I don't know how any man just goes for that. That's crazy. Please forgive me, because I'm just like, I got daughters, man. Freaking A. And this stuff is happening all over the planet.
So 2023, he would have been 17 or 18.
Yeah, not
Yeah,
legal.
yeah. That
Not
is
legal. If
that is
anything,
another part of this. If
yeah,
it was a romantic
right.
relationship, yes, certainly disturbing. And we haven't seen anything like sort of PDA or kissing or anything that would make you think that we could say for sure this was a romantic relationship. But what is clear is they spent a lot of time together. What the nature of the relationship is, we don't know for sure yet.
Okay, well, I'm going to skip ahead to something I was going to ask you in a minute, but I'm going to go there now. Maybe we don't have pictures or anything of them indicating anything romantic, but there's art, there are songs, and now everything's being looked at through a microscope. Tell me about a leaked song called Celeste.
Yeah, the lyrics to this song now, you like you said, looking through today's lens, very interesting. This is a song. It was unreleased, but it did leak on SoundCloud in in December of 2023. Some of the lyrics, and again, the title was Celeste. It says, "Oh Celeste, the girl with my name tattooed on her chest. Smell her on my clothes like cigarettes. I hear her voice each time I take a breath. I'm obsessed."
That's 2023.
December of 2023, right?
Like 4 months before she disappeared.
Right, and actually, I believe there was another time. It appears that I don't know if it was she had run.
Just wanted to say that I'm using this content right here on fair use because I want to give my critiques and my comments towards this situation. And just to be fair, that this content it isn't mine, but I had to react to it to give my 2 cents.
Away, or just that she was not contacting her mother, and so there was in January of 2024 a missing report, and then again another one in April. So her home life is also something we're looking into because it's clear that this was not a stable situation, and that she was in and out of the house. We also know that there was a photo, and we don't have a date for this one yet. There's a photo of David in a parking lot in Lake Elsinore, California, which for people outside of LA, that is a place that's about 70 miles east of LA. So it's not like right around the corner.
I got a little lost right here, and my bad. I keep cutting in. I got a little lost. Are they trying to tell us, and I guess maybe in legal standards or whatever, and I understand that they don't have enough with all the coincidences, la, 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 with everything that they got, that they still can't jam them. At least get some questions and some answers out of them. I understand he on tour. He need to get extradited, brought back. You can find him. I'm pretty sure they can. They can find Osama bin Laden hiding in the trench. They can find him. Make an example out of him. See, I know that you're innocent until proven guilty, but this is too egregious. Where hopefully the example will be made out of him if he's guilty, but it seems like everything is pointing towards guilty. Let's continue.
and David was in a parking lot there in Lake Elsinore, which is where Celeste and her family live. They're from Lake Elsinore. So
Yet
at
another
that point,
coincidence.
yes. And by the way, that parking lot, we looked at it on we geotagged the photo and looked at it is about a 6-minute walk from Celeste's home where her mom lives anyway.
Then there's another singer. There's another song that I
Yeah.
find disturbing. It's 2022, and it's called Romantic Homicide.
It is
And
one
there's
of
some lyrics there that are disturbing.
It is actually
Whoa.
one of his biggest hits. If you look up David's songs on a streaming platform, "Romantic Homicide" is usually near the top, if not the top song. And some of the lyrics from that song, he says, "In the back of my mind, I killed you, and I didn't even regret it. I can't believe I said it, but it's true. I hate you." Um,
Important to
again,
say, no mention of the name Celeste here.
no
And
mention
if
of
I'm
Celeste in there.
doing the math, correct me if I'm wrong, she'd be 12 in
Yeah.
2022.
Yeah, we don't know when they first, met, when their friendship or whatever it was began. But obviously, there are a lot of images now of them together. They had some sort of relationship, and now clearly, police are trying to connect those dots as well. I got to tell you about the search at the house. We know what while we don't know what they actually left with, we know uh, from law enforcement sources what they were looking for and what they did inside the house. They were looking for blood evidence. We're told that the detectives went through the house. There was with luminol, thinking that if whatever happened to Celeste, if she met her demise in the house, they wanted to see if there was any evidence of blood anywhere in the home. So
That's a
they were
great place
using
to check.
luminol around the house. They were checking drains to see if there's any, blood evidence or, blood or tissue that was in the drains there. So they did a scouring of this house looking for any evidence. Again, we don't know what, if anything, they found, but our law enforcement sources say when they executed this search warrant, that was uh, on the list, a very long list of things they were looking for in that house.
That's very painful to hear because we know that this body was dismembered and not all parts of this body were recovered. So it would make perfect sense if they were looking to see where that dismembering happened.
Right.
And also, just remind me, this house is being rented by David's manager.
Yeah, you got to keep in mind that David is a very young, he's 20 years old. So from what we
Please forgive me, people, and I don't mean to be crazy about this or insensitive, but it seems like what they saying to me is that they don't definitely have enough. They got some coincidences. That's what they have. And could he be set up? I don't know. But one thing for sure it does sound like is that he had a relationship with her, which should be the crime in itself. Does that necessarily mean that he did? Could somebody, some crazy fan or seen her and, but then how did they get the car? That would be the point to look at. Now, I'm just trying to look at it in all avenues. I can just go ahead and just label him 100% guilty, which I think a lot of people will do, which I am doing myself. At the same time, I have to play at least a little bit of devil's advocate in the situation. If you were to really ball down with it, they say they don't got no pictures. Now, we can, if they come up with some cell phone text messages and all this other stuff. But you know what? That song, that last song that they just brung up, that changes everything, even though it didn't have a name in it. But it's just so much at one time. And like I said, please forgive me. I'm not trying to be insensitive, but I'm just trying to understand what is being told. Okay.
we've seen is listings. This house is going, $20,000. That it can be rented for $20,000 a month. It is a large home. It's an estate, really. Um, that's not the kind of thing even a famous 20-year-old could do on his own typically. So it is his manager, a guy who is connected to
Josh,
Interscope Records.
Josh Marshall is his name,
Yes.
right?
Yes. So he is the person we found out who was actually on the lease, who was renting this. But again, from all the photos that David has posted, it's very clear he was staying in this home, if not all the time, frequently he was staying there.
Was the focus just on the house, or did they look elsewhere around the property?
They looked around the entire property. There's the house, there's a yard also where they could have searched for
What about
and
a
would have
garage?
searched. Yes, there's a garage there. In fact, I want to say it's a 3-car garage that they went into. They searched there. But
I mean, my mind, being in true crime, goes to Dexter, and garages are often one of the places of choice, for this kind of
When you have to do that.
macabre behavior. Yeah. And then do you have any information on purchasing? Like, was anybody within David's orb purchasing things like the kind of supplies you would need for this kind of an operation? Sometimes the Home Depot, sometimes Walmart. People go in with big cleaning supplies, drop sheets, even tools, that kind of thing. Bleach.
I know where your mind is going, Ashley,
Yeah.
and I wish I could say we don't know at this point, but it has been very difficult, I will say, to speak to people in David's orbit, that close friends. As you would imagine, most people are pretty tight-lipped and not willing to say anything at this point because they know what's going on.
At this moment in time, I know it's getting to the end of it, but really, to tell you the truth, I can't hear no more. This just has my mind going left and right, right and left. And fathers, mothers out there, please protect your family because there are people out there that want to harm anything that they get their hands on. Don't let it be you. I know I need to reconstruct everything that's inside of my family household, and you should as well. This world is dangerous. Yeah, guys, be safe. Black Dynamite Media signing out.